Welcome. So today we will talk about the summary from Down to Earth. Now here are some of the most important topics that were included. Talks about bioterrorism. So that is something that we would understand and in detail, and then the various issues related to the invisible enemy that has been in the society since long. So over the months, we have seen the statistics that in compared to China, there are deadlier hotspots that have been seen for COVID, and most of those are from United States, from Italy, and then you have a lot from European countries. It is believed that nearly 3 billion population of the world would be under lockdown because of this COVID scenario, and there is a huge amount of unemployment that has increased as per the international labor organizations. Also, because of this sudden rise in the unemployment, there is a scenario where we focus on not only the economic slowdown but also its impact onto the poor population. So it's believed that 100 billion million people would fall back into extreme poverty every year due to some of the natural health expenditures that are occurring, and these health expenditures would definitely cost a lot. Nearly 40% of the population across the globe does not have health insurance, and that would become one of the major burdens. If we talk about in India, this state of Maharashtra, there is only one government hospital per 0.17 million population, so nearly 1.7 lakh people dependent on one government hospital. And if the flattening of the curve is not followed, definitely it would have serious repercussions onto not only the health infrastructure of the system but to the overall state of the nation. Now, there are some of the reported cases and the deaths. Now, what is very, very important is how to bring about a scenario where the migrant laborers are being fed properly and they are slowly and gradually moved to their hometown. And if they are being moved, they are kept in quarantine so that there is no spread of the diseases that could be seen in the rural areas. Now, this lockdown has created serious crisis for some of the major economies. Let's say the Gondi tribe in Chhattisgarh has a unique idea where mahua flower is being one of the major sources of livelihood, but because of this livelihood, these tribes cannot get market for it and cannot access it. Similarly, you have tea plantations in Kunnur which are severely affected. The cardamom farmers in the south have witnessed severe losses in the state of Kerala. Black pepper again, and the coffee losses have been seen in the regions of Karnataka. So if we look onto some of the major sectors and the major mandis across India, we would see how the forest goods, the fruits, the vegetables, and not only that, we are also talking about the lark market that would be affected. The minor forest produce that is seen has been affected because there are no buyers and no supply chain that could be seen. Also, the spread of hunger is another concern. You have nearly 67% of the informal workers in India which belong to the poor households, and a large number of laborers have started returning back to your home. Odisha alone has accounted for nearly 4,000 laborers returning back to their hometown, and government has talked about lot of schemes for the benefit of the common man, but especially the poor, but that has yet to be taken into account because the spread has been much more rampant than it was estimated. The next is bioterrorism. Now, whenever you have biological agent which is used to create a kind of terror scenario, it is considered as a bioterrorism. Now, what could be the major means? Bacteria, virus, protozoa, parasite, any of these could be one of the major carriers. And unless and until we are trying to understand the consequence of the attack and the likelihood of the attack, we are not able to understand how it would work. So there are various categories under which we define. You have category A, B, and C. Now, the coronavirus lies in the category C, which talks about emerging pathogens which can spread easily, which have higher potential for a spread, can be produced at a very rapid and rampant pace. However, category A talks about high risk to the national security. Anthrax, botulism, plague are some of the examples. And category B talks about moderate risk, where you have epsilon toxin or food safety as some of the major issues. Now talking about the world after the coronavirus, so various states have prioritized various things. For example, in Spain you have all the medical colleges or all the private hospitals that have been nationalized. Similarly, in France, all the infrastructure has been nationalized. So different states are taking up different routes, be it a kind of state socialism or a state capitalism that is there. So there are various examples for each of the country, and each of the country is trying to work in their own unique fashion in order to curb this issue. However, the cases have been rising fast. Africa has seen a significant increase in the cases, and nearly 70% of the population in Africa is dependent on agriculture and the produce from agriculture. The import of pesticides, the import of farming equipments have slowed down because of COVID, and that would have a severe impact onto the state of Africa. Also, it would push a lot of people into the further state of hunger. So what is very very important is how do we take this into account, so we minimize the economic and the social impact, work for a rapid development of the vaccine system, protect the most vulnerable section of the society, and contain the virus as much as possible. So what could be the means of containment? The means of containment is definitely sanitization. So sanitizers is one of the things. So we have already taken one of the separate lectures on sanitizer. However, good hygienic conditions are important, and it's believed that most of the diseases spread where you have unhealthy living conditions, mainly in the shanties and the slum areas or the ghettos. Yellow fever is another important fever that we need to understand, prevalent in the Americas and Africas, and it has been a significant way where you have seen disaster in it. Mississippi Valley is one of the regions where this has spread significantly in America. So this is the region where you have high rampant spread of yellow fever, of which the regions like Ghana have compulsory vaccination which should be provided before you enter into the country. Now some of the symptoms are again yellow fever is deadly, and monkey is one of the carriers for yellow fever. So some of the symptoms of the yellow fever have been mentioned here. So again, yellow fever is important. Then we are talking about the water supply, the basic water supply. It's believed that washing hand is one of the major things that you need to do, but where most of the people would wash hand, WHO recommends 20 seconds of scrubbing and washing hand to get rid of coronavirus. Now there are 10 countries in the region of Africa itself which are struggling for even the basic water supply. So washing hands become a big challenge. Similarly, safe sanitization and densification of the population is another very very important challenge. In India, we have come up with numerous apps that are there. One such app is Arogya Setu. Now, Arogya Setu is an app which has been developed by NIC, and there has been more than 10 million downloads. However, there are certain privacy issues which focuses on registering onto it and furnishing all the details before you enter into the or you accept the terms and the policies. You had numerous other apps that have come up. Pixon Solutions have launched in the Tamil Nadu quarantine monitoring app, but there are certain privacy issues which are not clear under the General Data Protection Regulation Act. Similarly, Innovacare has launched the Test Yourself. Again, there are a lot of privacy issues related to personal and medical health conditions. Maharashtra Mahakavach, again there are privacy issues because it is a kind of generic privacy policy despite using the artificial intelligence that are there. Now WHO has been talking about that COVID-19 has to be declared as a kind of global health emergency, but there was a long debate whether it is a containment or mitigation strategy that is important. Containment refers to containing the population in a specific area. Mitigation refers to when the containment is no longer possible and all possible efforts are then focused towards removing it from the society or mitigating it from the society. So when the vaccine would come is a big question. Some of the scholars have been propounding 4 months, others have been saying 2 months, 2 years, others have been saying not even possible. So there has been a lot of debate. Some of the methods that can be adopted for safe livelihood is using social distancing, wearing face masks, proper sanitation, washing hands frequently, and herd immunity if developed could be one of the very major solutions that could come up. You have various companies working in the Boston. You have Moderna. Similarly, you have biotech companies being working in India. You have Serum Institute working for the same. Now if you look onto the history, you have the following years with some of the deadliest disease. And if we talk about vaccine, let's say Spanish flu, which was one of the most deadliest disease of the century, of the 20th century. The disease is spread in 1918, but the vaccine was developed in 1942. So it took nearly more than 20 30 years to develop and come up with a vaccine. So if we are on the same line with corona, then definitely it's a huge challenge for the society and the economy as well. In India, we have nearly 10 million people who are working on the frontline jobs for working for the cases of curtailing the corona spread. You have three important pillars that are there: the ASHA, the auxiliary nursing staff, and then Anganwadi workers. And in Tamil Nadu, a unique step was adopted where the ASHA workers uh, halted the people even from entering the border of the state. Similarly, you have a self-help group in Dehradun which has been creating double layer and triple layer face masks. So those are some of the major things that we need to take into account. So with this, we need to understand that the most important thing that we are talking about is, firstly, the spread of the disease. The secondly is the containment versus mitigation strategy. The third important thing is yellow fever, and the fourth important thing that we talked about is bioterrorism. So those are some of the major issues from this edition. We will be covering up every fortnightly. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful day ahead.